time to depart. Are you ready? A promising answer. Whatever happens, never allow your foe to see any weakness. We must pay close attention not only to Claude's schemes, but to the man himself. He's a master archer who wields the legendary bow, Fail Not. He won't fall easily. It's the relic of House Regan. That bow once belonged to one of the 10 elites. Professor, do you know the true story behind the legend? The relics were created by the hands of mankind. Saros collected them after killing the 10 elites. Saros manipulated the people of the world and defeated the all-powerful King Nemesis. That's the history the Church of Saros maintains. In reality, it was little more than a simple dispute. Should the one leading the people of the world be someone with humanity, or a creature that can merely masquerade as a human at will? In the end, Saros was victorious. The Immaculate One and her family then took control of Fodlan. I know this because that knowledge is passed down from Emperor to Emperor. And that is because the first Emperor is the human who cooperated with Saros, allowing humanity to be controlled in secret. Perhaps it's fate that you can wield the sword of the Creator, just like Nemesis, the King of Liberation. And that very fate will lead you to use that sword to stand against those who would distort history.
It seems they've set out from Garreg Mach, and that's sooner than expected. Losing the Great Bridge of Myrden was a serious blow. So is the fact that Teach is still alive. On top of all that, Judith. I told her to run if things look grim. Damn it. So many people will die, and by my call.
And what of it? Would you rather turn tail and run back home?
Nadir, you're really getting on my nerves. Do you have any idea how much of the Alliance adores me and believes in me?
Well, I suppose it's quite a lot. Does that mean that...
Yes, the plan is a go. I'm counting on you, Nadir. We'll make a good show taking down those who would assault Derdriu.
People say our kind may not always win, but we never lose. Let's teach them the real meaning of those words.
Now then, let's see what you're made of, Teach.
North of the Great Bridge of Myrden, the Imperial Army passes through the Allied territory of House Gloucester and invades the land of House Regan, which leads the opposition. They move to attack Claude in the capital, Derdriu, where the leader of the Alliance awaits their arrival.
Here she comes, at long last. I've done all I can to prepare. Let the cards fall where they may. It'll be a true test of strength.
It seems Claude has blockaded the city and occupied the naval port.
If that is the case, he will have no choice but to engage us from there.
Yes, though putting myself in Claude's place leaves me with an unpleasant feeling. If we take over the port and close the entry to the city, Derdriu will be under our control. Each soldier should bear that in mind as they advance.
There are 3 gates which connect Derdriu to its naval port. Taking the city will be easy once we secure all 3. What's my strategy? Ready for anything.
I'd be honored. I'll cut through.
I'll do my best.
My turn?
There's no stopping me.
Let's make this quick.
I'll cut a bloody path.
For the Empire!
Let's clean up.
Now it's our turn, Elmira's elite. Strike the flanks of the Imperial Army. Those fangs and claws the Alliance fears so much will now be their salvation.
Leave it to us, kiddo. My undefeated streak will live on. Another chapter in my heroic saga.
That flag and banner. Is that the Almiran army? Ugh, you really did it, Claude.
This is no ruse. That is Nadir, an Almiran general.
Take care of them quickly, especially those Almiran wyverns.
What a bother. To kill or...
Ignorance is deadly.
I'll fight to the very last.
Professor, it's been too long. But now we're on opposite sides, huh? What a shame. I am not going to hold back. I can't let down my dear old Claude.
The Almiran reinforcements keep coming. We should try to eliminate Nadir.
I must pull through.
You didn't forget about me, did you? Maybe you should just let me go. It's been fun, Claude. Sorry to go so soon.
Hilda! Why didn't you retreat? I counted on you retreating.
Ready for anything. I will see this war through.
It's my duty.
What's my strategy? You thought well.
You lost that one.
I'll dirty my hands if I must.
I won't let... If only I'd lived... Let's make this quick.
Ready for anything.
All is for victory!
No time for pity.
Nice form. I'd be honored.
Let's clean up.
There's no stopping me.
My turn?
I'll cut a bloody path.
I have no...
I'll cut through.
Ready for anything.
I'd be honored.
My turn? Ignorance is deadly.
Let's make this quick. I'll do my best. I will.
I'll cut a bloody path.
Let's clean up.
There's no stopping me.
What's my strategy?
For the Empire!
I won't falter. I could learn from that.
No openings? I'll make it! A boon for our future.
Not bad.
I'll dirty my hands if I must.
I will not die yet.
For the fate of Foden!
I must lead them well.
It's been 30-odd years since I first set foot on a field of battle. Here's a taste of my undefeated strength! The Emperor continues fighting at the front line. Is the Empire short on troops?
Unfortunately, I can't deny it. But then I've heard the Almiran King does the very same. You have traveled far. I do hope it's for a king who would not only lead his army, but fight at their side.
Touché. Yes, he is that sort of king.
You're weak!
Sorry, kiddo. It seems we'll have to withdraw.
You've done enough, Nader. Just stay alive. We'll meet again one day.
We have forced the Almiran forces to flee. I doubt they're expecting more reinforcements.
Teach, you should have chosen me instead of Edelgard. No point in whining about it now, I suppose. Sorry, but I'll be taking the win today.
Predictable.
Enough! You've bested me. If I die here, the Alliance becomes part of the Empire.
Do you yield then? You've never known when to give up.
Well, I can't just surrender so easily. I'm responsible for the others. If you're as smart as you seem, I bet you figured out why I was able to summon Almiran reinforcements. Wouldn't it be better to let me go and have me in your debt? I see. Right until the very end, I've read this whole thing terribly wrong. All my hopes have fallen to ash. It's all up to you now, Edelgard. I hope you really do make the world better.
Everybody, raise your voices in a victory cheer! Derdriu is ours! Derdriu is ours. The Alliance has collapsed and their leader has fallen. If Claude had lived, the faction of the Alliance that is against the Empire would never have stopped fighting us. To keep the bloodshed to a minimum, he had to be taken out of the equation. However, now that it's over, I can't help but wonder if he was in complete control of that entire situation. What will become of the Alliance without him? He must have taken that into account. Without the rule of House Regan, and with most of that territory left unscathed, the Alliance will undoubtedly ally itself with the Empire. The citizens' lives will be saved from ruin, and no more blood will be shed. Perhaps that's what he wanted from the start. Of course, if his plan here in Derdriu had worked and I had lost my life, the opposite would have come to pass. The Empire would have rushed to the Alliance without further conflict. No matter how the battle unfolded, Claude secured the shortest, most peaceful outcome possible.
Lady Edelgard, Derdriu is now completely under our control. As planned, the Alliance's affairs will now be overseen by Count Berglies.
My father is coming here? First west, then east. You sure keep him busy.
Should the others return to the monastery and prepare to face the kingdom?
Yes, thank you, Hubert. Thanks to all of your efforts, our battle with the Alliance has reached its conclusion. However, we still can't afford to be careless. We must now join the battle against the kingdom. With the strength of the Church on their side, they will prove to be a formidable enemy. More than ever, your support is invaluable. We'll need it in the days to come. But for now, let's enjoy our triumphant return.
Let's get to it!
I'm so happy that the end of the fighting is near. Too bad there's still more violence to come.
The Kingdom and the Church of Seiros are worthy for fighting. I will crush them into very small pieces.
Crushing wouldn't yield a lot of pieces, but I guess it would get the job done. With the Professor, we can't lose. Probably.
Oh no, are we fighting Lady Rhea? But she's scary, and she'll be really angry. But no way she can stay in her spooky beast form all the time, right?
If she could, she would have come and attacked the monastery as many times as she wanted.
It may be wishful thinking, but perhaps it is a power that she can only access when the situation is dire. But whether she is the Archbishop or the Immaculate One, we cannot be stopped. Half remains, but half is finished. We are certainly moving forward.
No one can stop us from pushing forward. No one.
Part 2. Crimson Flower. Pegasus Moon. Tempest of Swords and Shields. With Derdriu under Imperial control, the Leicester Alliance ceases to exist, and its remaining lords ally themselves with the Empire. The Black Eagle Strike Force, having now conquered all of Eastern Fodlan, confidently moves to invade the kingdom.
And that concludes Count Bergliez's report. Just as your majesty predicted, the old alliance has willingly fallen under imperial rule. However, even with Claude dead, there is no telling what manner of poison he left in his wake. We must be careful not to expose any weakness.
Of course, though it seems we can now attack the kingdom without issue.
True. However, you should know that Lord Arundel has entered Derdriu. It would seem he has already started collecting the relics of the old alliance.
Let him do as he pleases for now. It's not yet the time to chide him.
Understood. As for the kingdom, as we theorized, it is not entirely united. If we defeat the royal family of House Blathed, and a handful of other notable houses, it should fall under our control quite readily. Those we must target include the houses Fraldarius, Galatea, Gautier, and Karen. We have allies who are close to some of those lords. Perhaps that can be used to our advantage. Persuasion by tears or threats. Perhaps one would consent to act as a hostage. We must make good use of the tools given to us.
What about House Rowe in Aryan Road, the fortress city? Will they not side with us?
The head of House Fraldarius, Lord Rodrigue, has entered the city. It is possible that he has seized it.
I see. Then it might prove too difficult to strike Ferdiad right away.
Either way, when preparations are complete, we can begin our deployment into the kingdom.
That part of the plan remains unchanged. Professor, is something wrong? This month, we must again put all of our effort into preparing for battle. I'm counting on you, my teacher. Ah! Professor, you didn't hear anything just now, did you? Of course I am. It's nothing. Nothing at all. Cute? Well, be that as it may, it's not your concern. It was nothing. It's just... well, there was a rat. I don't enjoy the company of rats. I believe I've told you about this before. About when I was held captive beneath the palace. There were a lot of rats there. To this day, I just... What? Oh, Professor, leave here at once. I recall now that Hubert needs to speak with me. I must change my clothes. Now! Whatever you do, don't look this way. Then forget what you saw. That's an order.
Thank you.
This. They call Lord Rodrigue, who's defending Aryan Road, the Shield of Fargus. He used to be on friendly terms with Dimitri's father, the former king. There's no chance that he'll surrender to us.
Yes, I just wanted to help out my brother Randolph, so I aspired to be a soldier. My brother puts his life on the line to fight, so I'll put everything I have into it too. Eventually, the enemy will attack, and when they do, we'll defend this place to the bitter end.
I'm no noble, so it won't make much difference to me. But it hasn't really hit me yet that the Alliance is finished. It hasn't even hit me that Claude is dead either. I half think he might have faked it so he can jump out and surprise us. That's the kind of thing he'd do.
Professor! You know as well as I do the day's coming that we'll have to fight the Archbishop and her knights. We've got some strong fighters here, sure. But even with all our training, I don't know if we can win. I just don't see how any of us can compete with the Archbishop, say, turning into a monster. Yeah? What if that fight's to the death? Yours and mine in particular.
First Lester, and next Fargus? That'll be really tough. Look, Professor, fighting Fargus? Isn't there some way we can come to an understanding? Yeah, but Edelgard and her idiot sidekick haven't shown much desire to compromise, have they? Truthfully, I hate the idea of planning to kill people I used to be so close with. I guess everybody feels that way, though.
I think. I've lived at Garrigmach Monastery for a few decades now. Still, the other day I got myself all turned around. There are so many secret rooms and hidden passages. Maybe I'll take the time to properly search the place. Care to join me? I expect it'd take a whole day.
The worst part about going into battle is knowing you might have a friend fighting for the other side. You were a mercenary, Professor. Were you always prepared for that? Guess I need to learn. Won't make a very good mercenary otherwise, will I? Fighting old friends. There's nothing worse. My hands shake just thinking about it. I didn't want Claude to die. Does that make me soft?
The battle ended without House Ardelia getting involved. Although, I've no desire to continue on with my family, so from here on out, it's up to Edelgard. I have Claude to thank. Ultimately, this ended without the Alliance being entirely consumed by this war. It's all thanks to Claude.
Professor Claude von Regan. What an interesting character. Underneath that compassionate exterior, he was always cold and calculating. Ordinary fools run headlong into combat without even considering the possibility of defeat. But to consider one's chances and to prepare for plans to go awry, that takes real intelligence. I have to say, I am impressed beyond words. I have a request for you. Well done, Professor. Thank you. Claude underneath ordinary, but I have to say.
It seems all that praise of Claude's ingenuity was largely unfounded. A truly clever man would have realized defeat was inevitable and surrendered. Or failing that, he could have rallied the Alliance nobles to secure a real fighting chance. I regret missing my only opportunity to tell him so.
Hey!
My father is holding Aryan Road secure. Our next battle will be there, against him, or in Ferdiad, which the king is protecting. Don't underestimate me. I've been preparing for this for a long time.
Hello.
Finally, the kingdom. After that, we'll battle the church. I volunteered for monastery guard duty. It was more for my family than anything. But now, from the bottom of my heart, I want to see Her Majesty ruling this land. Even if it costs me my life, I will protect Garreg Mach.
Okay.
Let me see.
Maybe.
What? King Demetria Fargus possesses superhuman strength. I heard he can lift a horse with a single hand. I wonder if it's true.
Can you help me?
War isn't kind to you if you're a recluse. By the time you realize what's going on, you're already under attack. And if you're off by yourself, you can get killed with no one ever even finding out. Got me out of my room at least. That's good, right?
While the battle with the Alliance is over, we still need to stay vigilant. Both the Church and the Kingdom are not to be taken lightly. I have a feeling we'll draw their attention soon. Weapon prep and training are of the utmost importance, now more than ever.
Say now.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. You may already know this, but the Kingdom and the Alliance were once a single entity. The leaders of the Alliance, House Regan, are actually a branch of the Blythed royal family. In a way, it's just a battle of the part of the Blythed family tree that rose in rebellion against the Empire.
Doesn't seem to be much unrest in the former Alliance territories, perhaps thanks to Count Burgley's strength. That said, General Randolph is the head of one of the branches of House Burgley's. It was once difficult for someone from a branch family to get ahead in life. But under Her Majesty, anyone who accomplishes great deeds during the war will see more success than they could have ever imagined.
Ah.
Hey, how about a favor?
Say now.
Derdriu's fallen. The Alliance nobles have surrendered to the Empire. We made it through with as few losses as possible. Not bad, all things considered. But I doubt it'll be so easy to deal with Fargus.
I can't to think. I saw the end of the Leicester Alliance with my own eyes. I witnessed a turning point in the history of my homeland. I'm not sure how to express my feelings right now. No, I don't have a gift for words. But perhaps I'll tell my children someday, if I have any, so that posterity can remember our triumph.
Hi.
Your next opponents will be the Kingdom's army and the Knights of Seiros. Both fearsome foes. Put the mobility of my troops to good use, and let us protect the Kingdom's western battlefront. When this month has ended, I'll depart. I pray that you have good luck in battle.
The main body of the Imperial Army is moving to the western region of the former Alliance territory to attack the Kingdom. The time when victory or defeat will be decided between us and the Kingdom is close at hand.
We may be witnessing a key moment in history. Hundreds of years from now, your name and Edelgard's will be written in the history books, Professor. I wonder who will decide whether we did the right thing or not. Well, it won't be us anyway. Probably the people of a future era. Okay. Randolph has a big appetite. It does a heart good to see him. And he's handsome too. Compared to him, Hubert is... Forget I said anything.
Our Emperor mercilessly cuts down all those who stand in her way. Even the master tactician.
May I say, General Ladislava is really popular among the citizens of the Empire. If I remember correctly, the Emperor herself has recognized her genius and made her a general. Despite her considerable talent, she never puts on airs. And she's beautiful, too. She's even known as the Scarlet Warrior.
Upset. The kingdom always is cold. We have hatred for the cold. Bridget is not cold. We have no cold spirit. Does the goddess of Fodlan give protection from the cold? I am wishing I knew how to ask her.
Professor. Oh, Claude. It's too late now, but it's such a shame. You'll be fighting the Kingdom next, right? Then, the Church? I guess Edelgard won't hesitate to cut Dimitri and Lady Rhea down.
Professor!
Professor Claude von Regan. Ordered, I have to say. Claude von Ordered, I have to say. Oh. Well done, Professor. Thank you.
It seems all that praise of Claude's ingenuity was largely unfounded. A truly clever man would have realized defeat was inevitable and surrendered. Or failing that, he could have rallied the Alliance nobles to secure a real fighting chance. I regret missing my only opportunity to tell him so. Did you meet my father in Derdriu? I guess he'll be responsible for controlling the Regan territory and maintaining popular support. Not really sure what all that means, though. You're probably right. I'll do my best.
The majority is with us. This conflict will end soon. I am so moved by the Alliance nobles' decision. That is true nobility, acting in accordance with the people's needs and wishes. As war drags on, those living near the front lines inevitably get the worst of it. We will not see such a peaceful resolution in Fargus, I am afraid, as it is ruled by the royal family, not a council of nobles.
Hello.
appreciate it.
Welcome! Is that the one? Is that the one? Is that the one? Is that the one? Thanks a bunch. 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 Come back soon.
Dear God, I wonder. Was there really no way to end it without fighting Claude? You're probably right. I suppose the only thing I can do for him now is pray that he may rest in peace.
Right.
No.
Professor, I've been exploring the Holy Mausoleum. It's quite interesting in there. There is a mechanism I believe would allow us passage into the Holy Tomb, but I'm unclear on how to activate it. My research hasn't turned up much. It may come down to asking the Archbishop for details. Indeed. We'll see if it's worth the trouble.
Professor, if the Alliance falls, then the Kingdom will... There's no time to waste. If we hesitate, we risk losing the initiative. I do think we should let the troops rest, though. We must maintain morale, Professor. And let's make sure this matter stays between us. If it gets out, I'll struggle to forgive even you. Thank you.
Could I trouble?
Claude, lost in battle. My goodness, do you suppose this means the end of House Regan? While the crest of von Regan is not terribly rare, the long lineage of the von Regan family will be broken. Agreed, the poor boy.
Really?
The Leicester Alliance is no more. 300 years of history, gone and done.
They write operas about events like this, you know? I'm sure you'll be played by the most handsome actor of the time. Hearts will pound as he takes the stage. A diva will play 80. You'll fall madly in love, even if it isn't historically accurate.
Well...
That reminds... You must know this already. The former Fargus territory used to belong to the Empire. The Battle of Ch14, where Nemesis was defeated, put Fargus under the Empire's control. Centuries later, a revolution sprung up in Fargus, and through the mediation of the Church, the kingdom gained independence. The ringleader of the revolt became the first king, Lug von Blaidd. The Blaithids, the royal family of Fargus, are directly descended from Lug, who was also known as the King of Lions. If you look at it from the point of view of the Empire, the kingdom is just a bunch of traitors.
Nice job.